Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Got another crossout video for us today, guys. Now in today's video we are going to be going over one of the worst weapons in the entirety of crossout. We are talking about the mortar. Basically, this is not only one of the worst weapons in the entire game, but it is one of the most annoying and frustrating. The reason is because basically, there are two mortars in Crossout. If you want to look at it this way. We have the old mortar, whereby this absolute piece of garbage that you can never land your shots with and doesn't do any damage when you do land your shots with. And then we have the Jupiters, who basically they shoot the exact same type of projectile, essentially just a giant star ball. But the star ball on the Jupiter is just better in every single way, basically, just probably to sell battle passes, let's be honest. So in terms of how the Jupiter is better than the mortar, like I said, they fire the exact same projectile. The Jupiter's projectile is significantly faster, so it's just very easy to land your shots with. More importantly, the Jupiter's projectile is an area of effect damage, so you don't need to hit the guy to do damage, you just need to fire near them, over them, you can direct impact them, you can shoot below them, it doesn't really matter, as long as you shoot in their general vicinity. The star ball or the projectile is going to do damage on the Jupiter. On the mortar, nope, that doesn't work. The mortar, you have to direct impact. The problem with that is that the projectile speed on the mortar is so low that it's a real challenge to land it in the first place. In terms of damage, the damage on both of them are round about the same, but again, to actually land the shot with the mortar is, well, you're going to miss probably half of them, whereas with the Jupiter, you're going to land pretty much all of them. So in terms of actual damage, Jupiter is significantly better than the mortar. What else? Oh yeah, with the Jupiter, you can aim above the enemies if it's a bit of a brawl, so it's nice and easy to, like the projectile's area of effect will damage everything. Since you need to direct shoot with the mortar, you will hit your teammates a lot of the time, and then the projectile is wasted. Same goes with actually shooting the projectile. So with a mortar and a Jupiter, if you were to shoot the projectile as it's coming towards you, it will mitigate the damage of that projectile. Again, problem is with the mortar, since you need to direct impact it, you need to shoot it directly at the enemy, so they are far more likely to actually shoot it and mitigate its damage. Whereas with a Jupiter, again, you can shoot above them if you want to, so the projectile's less likely to get hit by stuff. And yeah, the only benefit of the mortar as opposed to Jupiter's is that you have more durability. But the durability doesn't matter if you can't land your shots in the first place and the shots themselves don't do any damage. Like, for example, you will shoot someone with a mortar and you will do about 1,000 damage a shot. You might think, oh, 1,000 damage, that's a lot of damage, that's amazing. Not really. It's 1,000 damage, but it's hitting the entire build. So the 1,000 damage is spread out to hell. It's not really doing anything. Like, for example, this is quite a squishy car. It's meant to be very vulnerable. This still has 13,000 damage. So realistically, you're going to have to shoot this thing probably 10 times at least, if not more, just to kill it with a mortar. And good luck hitting this thing when it's going 120. I try hitting it with a mortar, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Bearing in mind also that this is even better. This is fused for plus 25% projectile speed, and it still moves incredibly slow, and I have to really struggle to land my shots with it. So how the hell a newer player with an unfused mortar is ever going to hit anything is an absolute mystery to me. Safe to say, never buy this weapon, never wait, unless you're doing it like for market reasons, you know, to flip it or whatever, or for fusions, like to craft, sorry. Yeah, you should never buy a mortar because it's absolutely useless, and it is probably in contention with being one of the worst weapons in all of CrossOut. And the real kicker about this is that the Jupiter and the mortar are both legendaries. They are almost the same power score. I think the mortar has like only 200 less, but they're basically the same rarity. And the mortar performs like a bad epic weapon, whereas a Jupiter performs like a pocket relic, truth be told, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. So today we're going to be doing this in a bit of a two-parter. Today we are going to show off just how useless the mortar is, and bear in mind I am running it on a very meta setup with pretty much perfect fusions, and I've been playing this game for a very long time, so this is basically as good as a mortar is going to get. And then tomorrow we're going to do the exact same thing with a Jupiter, run it on a very meta setup where we boost the damage as much as possible and stuff like that. And we're just going to show a comparison of just how useless the mortar is and just how good the Jupiter is, because this stuff really does annoy me, whereby basically they've released the same weapon twice, but obviously the newer version is just better in 90% of the ways, and the older one is just left in the dirt. It's just really, really quite annoying, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna jump into the games now, guys. Like probably 6 PvP matches, and I hope you'll enjoy watching me suffer with this terrible, terrible weapon. Alright, okay. Let the pain and suffering begin. This is gonna be horrible to get record info, if I'm honest. But we gotta do it, because we gotta show how stupid the mortar is compared to the Jupiter, how the Jupiter is the same weapon, just better in every way. Basically. Yeah. To the point where we're going to go over now basically everything that's better about the Jupiter than the mortar. So with the mortar you have a lower projectile speed, so it's significantly harder to land your shots. The most important thing actually with the mortar is that it's not an area of effect. You need to direct impact to do any damage, which means that it's incredibly difficult to actually deal damage with a mortar. You can't just aim above like you can on the Jupiter. The mortar you have to the mortar you can hit on teammates all the time. Like that, for example, I just did nothing. Very... didn't mean to do that. Well, the damage is about the same. Sorry mate, I didn't mean to do that. Does this gun have a... yeah, that's cool. Good. The damage is about the same. I think the only advantage mortars get is more durability, slightly, than like, what, 2 Jupiters? I think 2 Jupiters is like 800, 900 dura. A mortar is like 1,000. That's it. It's the only advantage it has. But again, what's more dura if you can't actually, you know, hit or do damage to anyone? Oh, there we go. Good job, mortar. Hooray! How many shots is this going to take to kill him? There we go. No? Okay, that's... my rams are doing nothing. So's my gun. Look at this! Oh, team, you can handle it. Hey, good job, hey! This is so depressing. I'm gonna run out of ammo. Just... Good thing my teammates are alive, I'll have to ram this guy to death. Good job. In fact, actually, the good thing about the mortar being so bad and taking so long to kill anyone is that I imagine the game's going to take forever. But I probably won't need to play 6 of them. If that makes sense. Oh, 600 entire damage. Like, how do you hit 80 pieces and only do 600 damage? You might look at, for example, you might shoot someone with a mortar, see 1,000 damage, like, oh, it does a lot of damage. Like, no, not really. Bear in mind, you hit them pretty much most of the parts of the build and only dealing 1,000 damage. Like, if you, for example, this build right here has 80 pieces. Now, if you take in the total dura of this build, it's like 13,000. So by that math, you would have to shoot this thing like 10 times with a mortar to kill it. It just does nothing. I can't wait for tomorrow, because I can just run a Jupiter tomorrow and just show how ridiculous it is. Sorry, mate, I'm trying to get away. Yay, good job. This is so depressing. Oh. Okay, game number 3. You know what, actually, this gun is so bad that I'm just gonna talk about like a personal stuff, like screw it. Because basically the gun is terrible. I said why it's terrible, now we're just seeing that it's terrible in comparison to the Jupiter. So I'll just, and it's like nothing else much to say about it, if it does. Amazing. So yeah, I'll just rant about personal stuff. So how do I put this? Me and the wife, right, we have a cat. Now, she's a black and white cat, and her name is Sophie. We had her for about 3 years now. We got her from a shelter. And I don't know if this is like a cat thing or what. This story, oh, you've got it. I love comments. A comment did that, by the way. So yeah, sorry. We I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if this is a cat thing or what, but she loves the sun, and she will follow the sun around the house pretty much all the time. Like in the morning, she goes out the back, and the sun's out the back, so she just, you know, stays out there. And then in the afternoon, she'll come around the front because that's where the sun is, and she just falls around pretty much all day. Like she's addicted to heat or something, which is really weird. I really cannot talk and play. Finally, Mortar, you did something. I mean, as Jenny was on fire anyway, because I could see it, but still. Okay, so continuing with the patch story. Black Cat spends pretty much all her time in the sun every summer. So, because of this, basically every summer my cat will get like a tan. So every summer my black cat turns into a brown cat. Hello, mate. In fact, at the moment she's more brown than black, stupido. Am I dead? I might be dead. I don't know. It's okay, leave me alone. So yeah, she's more brown than black at the moment, and my missus, because of this, decided to do a video of it on one of her social media things. I don't know if it's like Instagram or like TikTok, or I don't know. I don't care. I'm not on anything about those stuff. But she did a video of it. Basically like a 10-second video just saying, oh, by the way, my black cat's got a tan and now she's brown. And that video got, I want to say like 400,000 views at this point or something insane. To the point where a news agency or like an article at whatever, they got in contact with the missus and said they wanted to do a news story on my cat turning brown. So just put in context, like me with these videos here, I probably spend like, I don't know, an hour and a half every day getting them done. You know, with the editing, getting the footage, putting together, doing the thumbnails, for an hour and a half. For like, I don't know, what, 2,000 vids at the moment? 2,000 views at the moment? Whereas my cat can do a 10-second video where she's just sitting down. And she gets 400,000. Voodoo, can you carry me from it? Thank you. He's dead. It's just the cyclone guy. Wait, I got carried. Good job. Alright, we'll call this the last one then. Just because these weapons are taking years off my life at this point, if I'm honest. Yeah, actually really looking forward to, to tomorrow's video. Just so we can showcase how superior the Jupiters are in pretty much every way. Like, it's just ridiculous. Tomorrow we'll run it on a really meta setup. We'll basically run it with like we did the assemblers yesterday. We buy Quantum to buff the damage, we'll have Perch to buff the damage, and we'll have Jackie as well. Be really good. Oh, thank you, Mortar, for just hitting my teammate. Amazing. I feel like I popped nipples, I don't. Oh, good job. This is so much damage. Bear in mind, this is a projectile speed fusion as well. It's just ridiculous. Oh, 90. God. Bot, please. Just not doing anything. Please. There we go. Good job, Dan. OP. How the hell did I get MVP in it? for the mortar car. As you can see, guys, this is honestly a truly terrible weapon and is really in contention with being one of the worst weapons in all of CrossOut. I would definitely suggest that you never waste your coins on stuff like this because it's just absolutely awful. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be going over the Jupiter. I'm putting on a meta setup just to see how basically it's 10 times better than this thing in almost every way, and it should be quite a lot of fun. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, guys, and I will catch you for tomorrow.